All right, y'all. Welcome to this week's Astral Weather Report from the Light Army. I am Jeremy Eugene Wilson. You've been feeling a little off, intense, inspired, or just weirdly emotional? This explains it. Every 6 days, the Sun and Earth move into a new genetic personality alignment, right? Human design gates, gene keys, they shift the energy for all of us. My job is to break it down in plain language, demystify so you know what's going on, how it's affecting you, how to avoid the pain and the issues, the drama that comes from it, and how to use it, how to leverage it to your advantage in business, relationships, parenting, across the board, all of it. So let's get into it. All right, this week's theme is strategic leadership through listening. And with the Lionsgate portal peaking on August 8th, a lot of us are feeling the pull to rise up, to speak louder, to do more. You feel behind the 8 ball, like you should be further along, but the truth is you don't have to lead by being the loudest person in the room or by force. In most cases, confidence is quiet and insecurity is loud. So this energy says one thing: tune in first. Listen more than you speak. This is a great week to practice active listening. Journal. Do a lot of self-inquiry. Have conversations with yourself. Build some prompts out to journal on. Ultimately, create space to let your next evolution arrive before you announce it. You want to have absolute clarity on your message, on your vision, long before you attempt to bring it into fruition, into reality. The greatest thing that you could do is nothing. Create some space, put an eye mask on, drop fully into silence. If you can go visit a float tank to really get concentrated energy dialed and all of your stimulation turned off, right? Go to a sensory deprivation tank, go float. But if not, just make sure you put an eye mask on, get the room dark, open up, lay on your back, and let there be absolute silence for 30-40 minutes. Also this week, practice active listening. I know I mentioned that, but truly ask, listen, clarify, confirm. Make sure that you're clarifying, confirming. Hey, what I heard you say is this. Is that accurate? Just practice active listening. Make sure for yourself that you confirm, and for others, have that information that you really are being a great listener as a leader. The mental and emotional forecast for this transit. Here's the headspace and heart space we're working with. You might feel a deep pull to step into your next chapter, to your next identity, your next goals, but without fully knowing the game plan, without seeing the entire game board. And that can create tension, especially for entrepreneurs and parents who are used to holding it all together. You might feel extra sensitive to other people's stuff, clients dumping, kids acting up, team energy off. You might feel more affected by other people's emotions. People around you might just be trying to feel seen, even if they don't know how to ask for it. In most cases, you're like, why are these people acting this way? Well, bad attention is better than no attention. If you've ever seen the Emoto example of speaking with an intent to 3 plants, the plant that they say, I love you to for 30 days, the plant they say, I hate you for 30 days, and the plant they totally ignore. At the end of the 30 days, it's the plant that was totally ignored that's dead. So that just says that bad attention is better than no attention. And it's not about fixing everyone this week. It's just about listening without absorbing, express empathy. Hey, I understand this is bothering you. I understand that you feel frustrated. Just acknowledge the pain, the feelings of discomfort people are going through, and ultimately just hold space. Make it very well known that you're listening. And the key is to listen without absorbing. All right, the 5th through the 10th, we have the Sun activating Gate 7. This is the role of self and interaction. You know, I like to look at this one like the elected leader. This is what we call the advisor gate. Think behind the scenes strategist, right? Leadership is an elected role. The leader that has the most interest, not just in self, but the collective self. The person that understands what each individual that's part of the tribe wants, desires, requires, and collectively keeping that in mind for decision making for the whole. That's the person that's going to be elected into leadership. So this isn't the CEO shouting orders. This is the difference between dominion and influence. This is the quiet genius that people come to for direction, because your presence just carries weight. But the shadow here, it's either over controlling, dominion, or waiting too long to speak the truth. So the sweet spot, the way to leverage this is lead when invited. Make sure that you're capturing permission and consent. Hey, are you open to some feedback? Are you open to another perspective? Make sure that's a definite yes, and then speak when it serves. Guide with precision, not noise. Don't give any unnecessary advice, and definitely don't make it seem like you're ever above No one's ever below you. You're always beside them, waiting to offer some perspective. The Earth is activating Gate 13. This is the listener. This is truly not just about listening with your ears, but listening with your heart, and not to just one person, but the whole. This gate is really a collective listening gate. This is where we absorb stories, collective pain, patterns, family drama, client projections, you name it, right? You ask someone how their day is, and they start telling you about all their dirty laundry. Those projections are real. But here's the catch. If you're not grounded, you start thinking their energy is yours. So make sure you slow down, get in your body, and ask yourself, is this your emotion? Is this mine? Because you're not here to rescue people this week. You're not here to be logical and give advice unless asked for it. You're here to witness, you're here to empathize, hold space, then move forward from truth. Not guilt, not shame. You're not here to be a hero. A lot of people living in that Cartman's drama triangle. If you're not familiar with that, Google Cartman's drama triangle. You know, they're looking for a hero, or they're looking for something to villainize. And this is where empathy reigns, and compassion follows empathy in almost every case. Just make sure, once again, that you're active listening, empathize, and express a little compassion. And if there's an opportunity for you to share some advice, do it, but do it from a place that is definitely not showing up with savior complex or to be the hero. All right, big picture astrology. Here's what else is stirring the pot on August 9th. We've got a full moon in Aquarius. They call it the Sturgeon moon. That's going to bring some deep feelings, right? Some truth bombs. Things might come up and out, things you've been maybe avoiding or hiding from. It can feel empowering and disempowering all at the same time. Mercury squaring Uranus, which means wild conversations. You might have some surprising insights hit you, and some tech or mindset glitches if you're not grounded. You know, all these people with their Mercury Gatorade, yeah, this is that. You got to remember that you are the common denominator. So if things aren't clear inside, you are a giant energy battery, and it can create disturbances in your energy field and screw with your technology, mess with your own mind, keep you trapped in thought loops. So keep that in mind. Make sure you stay grounded, lots of water, get out in nature, get to bed early, make sure you're hitting your workouts so you're not short-circuiting. Use this energy to your advantage. And the sun is still in Leo, which turns up the heat on identity and visibility. It's a great time to get clear on the standards and values you have in your life, what is, what isn't, what you do, what you don't do. Oh, and in case you forgot, Lionsgate is active all week. Let's talk about that. The Lionsgate portal. I know it sounds like some real woo, but it peaks on August 8th. It really starts mid-July, goes through mid-August, but this is a sacred alignment, the cosmic power mode alignment of the year. It's where the Sirian star system lines up with Orion's belt and the Earth all at once. We have direct channel energy. If you look up at Sirius, you'll notice it's flickering and flashing. There's a little bit more visible spectrum reaching through our electrosphere here on Earth. So translation, it's time for soul upgrades. You can manifest much quicker, so it's a manifestation accelerator. And yeah, it allows for DNA level clearing, letting go of parts of your identity, parts of your past that are clinging, still causing disruption in your current field. You might feel a high frequency pressure to show up as your next level self, your highest identity. But remember, this is a week for more introspection, slowing down, creating clarity, and silence does not mean you're invisible. But this is a week to plug in inward, right? Before you try and broadcast outward, anchor who you really are before you go share it with the world. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips in advance. This week you have more electrical voltage, so you might even feel tired because you're short-circuited. Get out to the gym, use that energy, make sure that you're fast forwarding 6 months in the future, and sit down and write out some intentions, but write them in past tense. It's January 2026. What I've accomplished, what I've done, who I've become. This can allow you to accelerate that intentionality through this amplified energy field, through the higher voltage your cells, your body is holding right now. Identity upgrades, right? You can't serve two masters, so you got to let go of previous parts of your identity, of your past. Go through your closet, get rid of clothes, be indiscriminate. These clothes reflect who you used to be. Move things around in your house. Maybe there's some pictures on the wall. Doesn't mean you got to go out and go shopping at Home Goods, but just rearrange some things so that your mind can see that there's a new environment that reflects a new timeline, which at the end of the day anchors to a new identity. It's a great time for identity upgrades. Get clear on the things, the habits, the behaviors, the people, the environments you no longer want to be a part of. Maybe they're things that anchor, a scarcity mindset. Maybe it's things that just anchor you to your past. It's time to let go or be dragged. So go through your environment in your home, rearrange some things, let go of some old clothes, ship them off to Goodwill, and then audit your network. Go through text. Who do you no longer want to respond to? Just find where you're in a misalignment of values with future you versus old you, and step in to the new you. All right, so just some ways to align with and leverage this energy. This week's all about refining the mission before you speak it. So even though you might feel some pressure, you might have some shame about not going out and performing and producing, don't perform for likes. Don't feel like you're playing from behind. Definitely don't chase attention. Don't mistake that urgency for alignment. Clear some space around 8/8. Doesn't have to be on August 8th exactly. So, find space and as much as you can on that day as possible. And guide only when invited. And if the energy feels off, pause. Ask yourself, am I guiding from a place of clarity, from a place of wholeness, or reacting from pressure? Right? This week's all about really getting clear more than anything else. So, in future reports, you'll see that there's going to be a lot more activity. This is one for introspection. You're going to want to really leverage this energy by creating space to call in that next level identity, and only guiding others when you're invited in, where you've got consent and you've created permission to offer perspective. Be the mirror, not the megaphone. What that means is, don't be loud this week. Just reflect back what people are sharing with you. Demonstrate that you're listening deep, not to only your own heart, your own prompts, your own intuition, but that you're hearing and seeing others. That's the best way you can leverage this week. And last but not least, here is some high return on investment habits for this week. So definitely, as mentioned, practice some strong intention setting and breath work on August 8th specifically. Just clear your calendar for a minimum of 40 minutes. If you can put 2 to 3 hours of solitude on that specific day, definitely do it, even if it's in the evening. And ask yourself throughout this week, right? Is this my energy? Is this your emotion? Is this your problem to solve? Is this my space to guide? Or is this just for me to witness, to be seen as a listener, to be, obviously evidence in holding space? And here's some prompts, be really intentional about being with these prompts. Ask these questions, journal on them. What version of me is ready to rise through this portal? What version of me have I been hiding that it's time to bring into the light? Where am I leading from fear instead of frequency? I found in my own life there's several areas where sometimes it's fear of missing out, right? There's a deep sense of urgency, not fear of disaster or fear of things going wrong or what people think, but fear of missing out versus frequency, the signal your soul's transmitting. Can I serve more by saying less? I know as a parent, that's probably the number one way I can improve, is just by allowing my kids to be kids. And last but not least, what parts of my life belong to who I used to be? What habits, what behaviors, what environments belong to who I was, not who I'm becoming? You don't need to figure it all out. You just need to be available for what's real. This is a great week for growth, but most growth begins with addition by subtraction. Get clear on what you need to let go of. People, places, things, environments, certain clothes you used to wear, habits, behaviors. You can't step into being a future version of yourself until you're willing to let go of who you no longer are. So, all right, this is the first episode. It was a little bumpy. We'll get more clear. You'll see one of these released every 6 days. We also have some ways for you to work more closely with us, both in our group settings, our one-on-one coach mentor settings. We are launching our certification programs this fall, so be on the lookout for those. You'll see another one of these in about 6 days with the next Astral Weather Report. In the meantime, infinite love, shine on.